Essentially, in the Ashtanga Yoga practice, we're giving our attention to many things to help clear the mind because it's very difficult, especially in modern culture, to turn the mind off. We always have so many thoughts coming through that our mind are ruminating all the time, and it actually can be quite draining on our energy and distract us from seeing things clearly. And so in the Ashtanga Yoga practice, first we're being called to be aware of our breath. We're also being called to focus on a drishti, a gazing point. At the same time, we're really holding onto our center through the bandhas. And then, of course, we're going through the sequence of postures that sometimes start simple and they work their way into complexity. So in a sense, we're being challenged, or actually we're being guided to be directly immersed in the present moment. And even though we're energizing the body, it can actually give a more rejuvenative effect because we don't have so many thoughts ruminating in the mind. And the other thing that's so interesting is when you exhaust the body to a certain level too, it just really helps you find that sense of calm and true relaxation. So the benefits are so endless. And when it comes to your mind and the internal journey that we go through, it seems like such a small, simplistic thing, but the practice allows you to just observe the self. We're able to observe and celebrate our strengths, but at the same time, we can observe our weaknesses too, our dark spots. And again, if we don't see our dark spots, we can't allow them to heal or transform into something that help us to develop into greater, better human beings. And I just find it to be just so interesting because this particular practice will extract and show you every weak point that you have, whether that's physical, mental, emotional, or if you have some type of like spiritual disconnection. And so it helps us to find those links, to find those deeper connections within ourselves, and again, to reconcile trauma that needs to be healed or mental patterns that need to be resolved. And it's not easy work, but it's rewarding work. And sometimes it's really challenging, and other times it feels, when you start to look at all these things, it can feel like there's a lot of disturbance at first because you're seeing everything. Because, in day-to-day life, we have so many distractions that allow us to suppress our true emotions or thoughts that are difficult, or we don't want to think about things from our past that kind of have an effect on us today. And again, if we don't acknowledge them, we can't change them. And so this practice really helps us to navigate through it, to become more skillful in observing these patterns, and hopefully over time to also find the strength to make the change. Because I also find that this practice helps us to be stronger too.